Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is sort of a question, and the question is love or money? And the reason why is because last Sunday we had a fantastic full moon at 8 degrees of Libra. Libra rules the traditional 7th house of love and marriage and peace and partnership and beauty and decorating and compromise and negotiations, and it also rules the law and all legal contracts. So with the moon full there, it accentuated everything that these very nice ideas can be generating throughout our society. And that could have happened over the weekend. You could have had some rather lovable, enthusiastic thoughts about something or someone that you really care about. And the reason why that can be great for you is because the full moon in Libra at 8 degrees was being trined by Mercury in Gemini. And those two planets were also being trined by Jupiter, Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, which rules the future. So if you were thinking of someone or somebody that you were very fond of, or you were thinking about making a new start on something, or you wanted to communicate with other people, you would have had a very charming way of doing that. You could have been thinking of lovable, nice things, particularly over the weekend. So love could have been on your mind. But now the moon has changed, and it has gone into Scorpio, the sign in front of Libras. And Scorpio is a fixed financial sign. It rules justice and survival, and it rules money coming in from any other source, such as loans, grants. It rules debt. It also rules taxes, inheritance, and insurance proceeds as well. And the problem is that you may have been going now from a euphoric state of contemplation about your future happiness to a viewpoint now that the moon is in Scorpio, of being more materialistic and thinking a lot more about the bottom line, or about how much you're going to be able to afford. And so you have that to consider, because as the moon has moved into Scorpio, it is setting up a harsh T-cross among the fixed signs. And that is going to generate more tension and pressure and gridlock that we have experienced prior, in other words, earlier in the year. And so that moon in Scorpio is opposing Uranus in Taurus. That means there could be some sort of financial anxiety going on right now because of the change in the price of something. It could be a rise in prices, or it could simply be that there is fluctuation in the value of your investments. And so if you had been thinking of getting income from an investment and the price falls and the value falls, then you would have to get real practical about that. And by getting practical, what I mean is you could be coming to a question now that you weren't even thinking about this weekend. And that question could be, how much can you afford? Well, one of the ways to discover how much you can afford is, first of all, to rule out something really important right now that you should not be doing no matter what, and it is gambling. And the reason why is that the moon and Uranus in Taurus and Scorpio are opposing each other, but they together are squaring Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, which rules the future. So that can really put your future plans on hold if there's any kind of financial disruption in your life. And so some people may be tempted to take a gamble on things. This is not a good time to do that. And the reason why is that Leo rules gambling. And all the planets in the fixed signs are squaring and opposing the sign of Leo. So all of their frustration is pouring into that sign. And that's why it is not a good time to take a gamble with anything. So I hope you don't do that. But as far as the future goes, I think the future is calling. So if you hear that future calling, I hope that you answer, because love is very important. And if you can only do something because of a reduced budget that expresses your love or your feelings, why don't you go ahead and do it? Because, you know, good things come in small packages, or sometimes if you just give a person a compliment, you can make them smile and feel loved. And, you know, your kindness and thoughtfulness doesn't cost you anything if your budget is real small, but it can be priceless to somebody else. So I hope you give that a try. All right, what does it mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Aries. You know, that full moon in Libra opposed your sun sign, Aries. Now, you have good planets in your sun sign. The Sun and Venus are there. That's just great. But still, they opposed, that full moon opposed the Sun in your sign. And that simply means that there may be a partnership issue. Remember, Libra rules partnership, that is going to favor the other person. And it can be that that's just sort of the state of affairs. At the same time, because the planets are so good in your sign, you could sort of feel like doing something new and different yourself without a partner, such as taking a trip, or maybe enrolling in a course that can help you increase your skills, or just doing something that you love to do, and even if it's just a hobby of yours. So you can devote yourself to love as well, but I think you're thinking a little bit more of what you love, not the other people that you love. It doesn't mean that you don't love other people, Aries, but this is a time when you can be very concerned with making a new start, and you can't be everywhere at once. So maybe you are just not interested in helping a partner at the moment, but I think they're going to go ahead with their plans. They can hear the future calling. So don't be surprised if somebody shows up on your doorstep, Aries, and says that they too are taking off. It'll still be on the path to something better in the future for both of you. So I think that that will work out. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. You could be looking at some financial anxiety right now. Now, not at a real deep, solid level, because I think that your finances are well grounded, because a Taurus would almost always have a little something else tucked away somewhere that they could draw on, or they could have something that was of rather high value, that if they needed to afford something else and they didn't have any other way to do it, they could sell an asset, for instance. So I think that you can do that. But the financial anxiety could come from the fact that Uranus in your sign, which is a planet of volatility and sudden surprising change, is being opposed by the moon in Scorpio today. And that simply means that you may feel like making some sort of sudden financial change, or you could be deciding that there is some sort of immediate threat to your own finances. You might want to concentrate on that instead. But over the weekend, when the full moon was in Libra, remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, and your sign is ruled by Venus as well. And so I think you did have some pretty lovable thoughts this weekend, Taurus. That's great, and I hope you really enjoyed yourself. But at the same time, you are facing financial anxiety, and it may be because there can be some home matters that need to be attended to, or family matters that can be rather expensive, and they could be demanding your attention. You may not feel like paying attention to that, but I advise you to do that. And this could also involve financial affairs like taxes, and this is tax time. So really pay attention to business if you can, Taurus, because the people that love you will still be there. It's just business matters generally have deadlines with them, so you kind of pay attention to those deadlines if you can. And that's because you need to solidify your future. And Uranus in your sign is squaring Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which rules the future. So if you don't pay attention to business, it's your future that is being threatened. So I hope you get real serious. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini, excuse me. Gemini, you certainly would have benefited this weekend by the fact that Mars in your sign was beautifully trining that full moon in Libra. Ooh, lucky you. You could be very popular, Gemini. And since your sign rules 2 of everything, you could almost be in 2 places at once. Or at least you may have done that this last weekend, because your future is really opening up and really is calling you. And the reason why is that Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius are also trining your sun. So I think there is the possibility that if you haven't done so already, you are on the verge of forming a partnership with someone. Now, it may not occur right now, but it could. And the reason why is this grand trine that occurred over the weekend in air signs was wonderful for communication, for getting ideas out and getting people to think about tomorrow. Remember, those planets in Aquarius rule the future. And so I think that you're going to sort of get a boost from somebody or an organization that is older and has a good track record and has been around for a while and can feel that you are a necessary asset to their future, and so they may be contacting you. And so you really need to prepare yourself to be a little bit more out in the public eye, Gemini, because that's what people want right now. And you have Mars in your sign. You have enough energy. It's like being born again, Gemini. You can almost be in 2 places at once, or you could figure out how to do that in one way or another. So I wish you the best of luck. And as far as the money goes and what you can afford, I would say that you're not at the commitment stage yet. And you're also you're not willing to take a gamble on something. This can simply be a good information gathering time, or a time when you are strengthening your ties in the public eye. And you should be doing that. So good luck, because I think you're going to be successful. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when other people can be asking themselves, should I be concentrating on who or what I love? Or should I be concentrating on how to afford it right now? The money end of it. Well, you too could be thinking of that, Cancer, but it's your own ruler today that is trining your sun. The moon is in Scorpio today. And it is not only trining your sun, but Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun. And that simply means, since Neptune rules Pisces, that you really benefit from things that are going on behind the scenes that may have been concealed before, or that other people know about, and that information could be coming out. It could even be coming out inadvertently. In other words, slip of the tongue. It could be that somebody just sort of blurts out something that they didn't mean to, but it really benefits you, Cancer. It really helps you out and helps you discover something that will bring a matter to justice. Remember, Scorpio rules justice. So if you are pondering whether to concentrate on who or what you love, and then you're wondering if you can afford that or where the money is going to come from, I would urge you not to worry so much about the money, Cancer. It isn't the money that's important, at least not to a Cancer, because your sign is ruled by the moon, and the moon rules our feelings, you know, and and all the water signs rule healing. And that's what's really important. So Cancer, I think that you should sort of stick on the love side of the equation and do what you can to be supportive of others. And since the moon is in Scorpio, trining your sun, I think that simply means that there could be some more money coming your way. And it would be well deserved. And it should have come before, but at least it is coming. So congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is the time, remember when I said this weekend under that benevolent full moon in Libra, everybody could have been thinking quite nicely about who or what they love, or what they love to do, or what their passion is. And you know, Leo, your sign rules love affair and children and sports and the entertainment world. You could love all those things. But this is not the time to take a gamble on any of those things. And even though the planets in Aries, particularly the Sun and Venus, are trining your sun, which means you're fully capable of making a new start right now, Leo, and you may feel as if you are energized and you want to zoom forward because Mars is in Gemini, and that is sextiling your sun. It is sort of energizing you right now. At the same time, though, there are 4 planets in the fixed signs, all squaring and opposing each other, and yours is a fixed sign, so they're pouring all of their frustration into your sign. That means, Leo, that it's not going to be an easy ride. Whatever you want to do, don't take a gamble. If it means that you have to take a gamble, then the answer is no. It's not no forever, Leo. There are 2 eclipses coming up in Sagittarius this year. They both trine your sun. I mean, there are better days ahead. But if you are tempted to take a gamble with anything, you're going to lose. So don't do it. Just sort of, just play it safe for right now, Leo, because I think that you're on the verge of something new, and it could be very rewarding. And it could start off rather well, as long as you don't go over your head financially, because the financial picture is definitely looking cloudy. So don't bet your own money on anything right now, Leo. You'd lose it. But on the other hand, if you've got a lot of charm you want to spread around, I think there's plenty of people that will be delighted to have you be with them. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Virgo. This is a time, since your sign is the sign of analysis and good problem solving, when you probably, even though you have a good heart, you love doing things and you love other people, this can be a no-brainer for you. Is it love or is it money? Well, it's money, isn't it, Virgo? And the reason why is that you can't exist without it. In other words, love flies out the window if there's no food on the table. And you know that's the practical reality of life. So you're always going to stick to the budget or to what is needed to further your career, to guarantee your long-term retirement and security, or to make investments that can help pay for your lifestyle at a later date. So all of those things are good. You have long-range vision, Virgo, and this is a very good time to be careful with your money and not believe what people tell you right now. In other words, put up a test of some kind. If you get an answer to a question that sounds a little fishy, then ask that question a different way on a different day and see if you get the same answer. You may not. And the reason why is that Mars in Gemini is squaring your sun, and Neptune in Pisces is opposing your sun sign. Somewhere in your life, Virgo, somebody is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or they're trying to mislead you, and they may have been successful at it, but not for too much longer. So that's why I'm saying be cautious in your business dealings. And Virgos have tender hearts. They already know who they love. So the love side of it is not a problem. You just have to make sure you can afford it. And Your sign rules banking, Virgo, so I would pay attention to business right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Libra, the full moon was in your sign on Sunday, and oh, Libra, it was a wonderful one. And because the full moon at 8 degrees of your sign was trining Mars in Gemini, and they were trining Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. So you've got your mind on the future, don't you, Libra? Well, you should have, because the future is opening up for you right now, and I think you're going to be delighted with it. Your idea of partnership might change a little bit depending on who comes into the picture. In other words, the way that you have handled some of your career interests and your relationships before, particularly in the workplace, are subject to change, because you're a different person now. We all grow and change, and if we don't feel like changing, that pandemic did it to us, didn't it? It changed everybody. So you can't expect things to be the same they always used to be, same way. What you can allow yourself and everyone else is the wisdom to realize that we all change. And so some things that were important to you before, Libra, they may not be so important anymore, but there could be newer things now that you have to look forward to. Things in the future that you're excited about. Well, that's fine, because I think the reason that we're here is so that we can forge ahead in life and go ahead and grow and change and give to others in new ways. And that is certainly something you're capable of. And so it's the love side of the equation that you have really got under your belt. You know what you're doing, Libra. As far as the money goes, I would be a little bit careful about that, because I think that someone else may want money to go and do something of their own, and you either have to just give it to them outright or else say, no, not at this time, I can't afford it, one or the other. But there can't be any strings. The strings wouldn't work now anyway. Even if you had strings on money before, Libra, it won't work now. So that's what I mean about we can all grow and change. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. Well, the moon in Libra this weekend was just wonderful for lovable thoughts that everyone could have had, or just nice times. But now the moon has moved into your sign, Scorpio. Now it's creating a harsh T-cross among 4 planets in the fixed signs. And since yours is a financial sign, that moon in your sign is now opposing Uranus in Taurus, the other fixed financial sign. And that planet is very volatile. It can move up and down real quickly and in sudden surprising ways. So it's unpredictable. And so my advice to you, Scorpio, is, first of all, don't take a gamble with anything. And also, if somebody has their hand out and wants some money right now, I think that you should stall for a while. And the reason why is that your own finances could be a little bit up in the air in one way or the other, depending on things that are beyond your control. It's not your fault or anything, Scorpio. But unless you've got everything really nailed down right now, I wouldn't take a chance with anything. I wouldn't assume that the world is just the same as it's always been. It's not. And in fact, we are seeing unusual things happen, such as that volcano that decided to finally erupt after 6,000 years. So those, surprises can happen at any time, Scorpio. With Neptune and Pisces trining your sun, you are going to learn a lot more behind the scenes than if you were out among a whole crowd of people. Scorpio rules secrecy. Scorpios are very good at keeping their mouths shut if they want to. And so, Scorpio, this can be a time when you could investigate a matter. The 2 best signs for a detective are Scorpio and Capricorn. So you may want to look around behind the scenes and see what else is going on in other people's lives. And I would say this is a good time to investigate, but not to reveal anything. And, you know, no matter what information you find out, if I were you, I would keep it to myself right now, Scorpio, because the tension in fixed signs is too great. And so some of the tension that is being generated now, particularly from the planets that are in the sign of the future, Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, could affect you adversely if you make some grandstand play right now. I think it's more important that you sort of protect your back, Scorpio, and just be as quiet as you can, but keep investigating. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Oh, Sagittarius. This is a time when I know that you'd love to travel because that's what your sign rules. And you know, you could think to yourself that having a partner around to travel with would be great. And you could be practical about that. It could be that you've got love on your mind, or there could be somebody very nice that would be a good travel companion of yours. That's great. But you could have money on your mind too, since the moon is now in Scorpio right behind your sun sign. Because if somebody's traveling with you, Sagittarius, you could split the cost. And that way, you know, that's good for both of your budgets. And so this is a time when if you do decide to take on a partner for one reason or another, I think that you're going to do just fine with that. And also there could be some more money coming to you behind the scenes, Sagittarius, since Scorpio is right behind your sun sign. And if there isn't, it could then also be, since Scorpio rules taxes, that you might get an income tax refund, or it's possible that you don't have to pay as many taxes as you thought. Wouldn't that be nice? So there can be all kinds of advantages, particularly if you take on some sort of partnership effort, because the full moon was in Libra, which rules partnership, and now that moon is in Scorpio, which rules money, and that means it could be coming in from another source behind the scenes. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Capricorn. What it means for you is that just like Virgo, you really have to pay attention to business. And it isn't necessarily your business, Capricorn. It's not how you handle something. It is how other people are handling, particularly their money. And the reason why is that there is tension and gridlock among the fixed signs, particularly both financial signs. Well, one of them is Taurus. And so Uranus in Taurus is trining Pluto in your own sign. And that Uranus in Taurus is being challenged right now by the planets in Aquarius, which are squaring it, and by that moon in Scorpio. So it's under pressure, but since it's trining your sun, there can be a financial matter that someone else is involved with that they may want to draw you into helping them solve their financial problems, Capricorn. And I would not do that at this time. Now, remember, the show is called Love or Money. It could be somebody that you really love. But you may not know enough about the whole financial situation. And if it's just somebody coming along with their hand out one more time, I would say that, you know, this is the time to say no. And the reason why is that there could be more financial volatility in their life that you are not aware of. And the pressure could be bigger than what they are describing. And I think that you should sort of step back and try to let them solve their problems themselves. And it is because you love them. It is because they need to learn to do that. And so I wouldn't part with my money right now, Capricorn. Wait and see how someone else handles their money before you decide to let go of yours. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, oh, you must have had very loving thoughts this weekend. And that was because that full moon in Libra was trining your sun, where you have a Jupiter and Saturn, and Uranus in Taurus was also trining your sun. So, you know, or not Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Gemini was also trining your sun. So, you know, you could be on a roll right now, Aquarius. Yours is a fixed sign, so you're under the pressure of these 4 planets and fixed signs that are challenging each other. But at the same time, a grand trine in the air signs is rare. And we haven't had a lot of planets in air signs, and a grand trine in the air signs, meaning all three signs in the air element had planets in them reinforcing each other beautifully, simply means that you are in a position, Aquarius, maybe to step out of the shadows right now and to contact other people, to be more conversational, to join new groups, even to form a new partnership. All of that is possible. And then if the question, so the love end is, it's looking pretty good for you, Aquarius. The money end of it, I wouldn't take any chances with right now because yours is a fixed sign. So go as far as your smile and your good personality can take you, because that doesn't cost anything, Aquarius, and you can still enjoy yourself a lot. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time with that moon in Scorpio today, which is trining your sun, where you have your ruler, Neptune, that there can be some more money coming your way, Pisces, or there can be something of financial value coming your way. It could be a nice gift from a loved one. That is possible. But there's also the possibility that you could get an income tax refund, or that your taxes wouldn't be as high as you thought they were going to be. That would be nice. Or that there is that stimulus check coming. That would be great too for you, Pisces. But one of the nicest things is that the moon and Neptune are what we call nebulous planets. They work on the inside. They work on a person's feelings or their intuition or their creativity. So this is just a prime time for you, Pisces, to be very creative. And you could probably even do that at home. The moon rules the home, and it's trining your sun. So I think that you can sort of blossom right where you are, Pisces, and do something creative and loving, or express your love in some way that can be very healing, not only for the person you're thinking of, but it can be healing for you too. So I hope you enjoy that. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.